I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
Dave Rubin, he's the host of the Rubin Report, and he joins me now. Dave, great to see you.
Will, it's good to be with you. Why is it that the people of the Will Cain Show don't send me talking points like I'm a Democrat? Am I just supposed to do this all off the top of my head right now?
Well, I don't know where the Central Politburo of talking point issuance is, Dave, but I'm not in. I don't know if you're in. By the way, Dave, there must be one.
We'll try.
There must be one. How does one script or one line proliferate virally like that to where everybody has it? There is a central hub.
Well, there's obviously a central hub, because I assure you these people did not come up with that themselves. And even the way it's so obviously scripted that they're all sitting in the same position, they're all holding the microphone the same way, all of their affect and their inflection when they speak is exactly the same. And ironically, that sort of clone, or I like to say NPC, non-playable character, that version of what the Democrats have offered is in stark contrast to what Donald Trump now represents, which I do think gets to the American dream that you were just talking about, that in this country, you got a chance to be yourself. We believe in individual rights. We believe in the pursuit of happiness, and your happiness might be something different than somebody else's. What we don't want are a bunch of groupthink clones, and sadly, that's all the Democrats are left with. And I think it's going to be on full display tonight, whether they're throwing eggs at him or bringing bullhorns or unemployed federal workers or whatever else they're planning. But the point is, it's all planned. And Trump represents us, which is, it's a little bit messy. We think some different things, but America's pretty good.
I love your invocation of the NPC. For anybody watching that doesn't play video games or isn't in that demographic, which is probably an under 30 demographic, understanding what an NPC is. It's a non-playable character in a video game. It's the people you can't, they just stand there and glitch, and they're not part of the game. And I do feel like, Dave, there's an entire push to make all of us NPCs. That's what this slogan politics by slogan becomes. And it's not about whether or not each individual slogan is right or wrong. Like yesterday, if I want to critically think about Ukraine, if I'm met with Putin apologist, I feel like I've just encountered an NPC. You're asking me not to think. You're just shaming me with an ad hominem attack and a slogan. And so back to the American dream, what I feel like this should be about and what it's originally about is, yes, our individual pursuit of happiness, but also a shared national identity, Dave. Like, I think that's key to it. We are all in this American experiment together with our independent individual thoughts, but in on the American identity.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Well, that's combining two beautiful things. That the first part that you're talking about is you. It's you as the individual. You have a mind and you have a capacity to reason and you have passions and loves and pursuits and all of those things. And that's wonderful. But that doesn't exist in a vacuum. What it exists in this case, is a country of 350 million people from all walks of life, who, whether it was you that came here or your parents or your grandparents or great-grandparents, or whether they came over on the Mayflower many other generations ago, came here with the idea that you're going to build a better life, that basically you're going to get a shot at it. And whether you succeed or fail will largely be on you. It doesn't mean that the system is always perfect. It doesn't mean that everyone is always nice. It doesn't mean that everything is equal all the time. But it means that you've got a shot. And we have been better at that in America for 250 years almost now than any other country in the history of the world. And I think part of the problem with branding that, and why we struggle to kind of sell America these days, is that freedom, we just take it for granted. It's just like, oh, you wake up in the morning and you go to work and you have your coffee and you hang out with your friends or you do whatever you want with your spouse. And it's just like, it's kind of working, so you don't have to think about it that much. And I think that Americans are realizing, boy, maybe this thing is a little more precious than we've really paid attention to. And, and I think Trump is keenly aware of that. I think we're going to hear a little bit of that tonight.
Yeah, and I think over the last 5 years, we've divorced ourselves from those two elements of the American dream. We've diminished the idea of the opportunity to be free to pursue your full capabilities, and we've shredded the idea of a common national identity. We have absolutely torn down statues and flooded through our border the idea of a shared idea of what it is to be an American. Dave Rubin, always smart. Check him out on the Rubin Report. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Will.